Hello everybody, welcome back. We have another big empties video. You know the drill. I'm not gonna go into a big spiel before we get into it because I'm just talking empties and what I liked, what I didn't like, will I repurchase, will I not? So if you're not already subscribed, please do so below. Please like this video and we'll get into it right now. You know what, let's start with sunscreens because this is a sunscreen channel, is it not? So the first one I have is the Dr. LORETTA Urban Antioxidant Sunscreen. This one I bought with another one that was the moisturizing one. I preferred this one. It was a little bit more of a matte finish, not like super drying matte though. It had a tint to it. It is a mineral sunscreen. It was really, really lovely and I would maybe repurchase it if not for the price tag. I'm pretty sure it's in the 60s, which 1.7 fluid ounces for sunscreen. It's just not that remarkable. I think it's a really, really lovely sunscreen. It has like a lighter tint to it. So if you have a deeper complexion, I do worry that it will leave a little bit of a ashy kind of color on you. But otherwise for people who have more fair skin that want a luxury mineral sunscreen, it's a good one. The other one that I also raved about for a long time was this HYDROPEPTIDE Solar Defense Tinted Sunscreen. And this is one of those sunscreens where it goes on white and then when you start to blend it, it becomes like a skin tone. I don't want to say your skin tone because that's impossible. But this one I loved and loved and loved because it does have a more matte finish, which for me in the summertime is big. I just can't have too much glow because it's too humid here. But I found as I used it, it was a little restrictive in the sense that I couldn't do as much skincare as I wanted underneath. And sometimes if I put too much of it on and wasn't very careful of how I applied it, it would pill. So while I did love this and raved about it, I think over time I came to kind of fall out of love with it a little bit. So it's not gonna be a heavy, high recommendation from me, but it will be, you know, if you want something and maybe you don't put on the full quarter of a teaspoon and you want something that really doubles as sunscreen and makeup, this is a good option. Another great option is the Trader Joe's Daily Facial Sunscreen. This is a dupe for the Supergoop Unseen Sunscreen. It's not exactly alike. It has, I would say, a little bit of a thinner, more watery consistency, but we're splitting hairs there, and I only know that because I've used both of them so many times. But it's $8 or $9. So if you just want something that really works just like the Supergoop, this is a great option. You can only buy it in store, but you know, it's always fun to go to Trader Joe's, is it not? So this is my second bottle that I've emptied. I think I have one, but it'll be a consistent repurchase for me in the future. I was gonna say in the past, in the future. Now the next one I have is the COTZ Flawless Complexion. This is a tinted mineral sunscreen. This is good if you have very dry skin because it has a lot of moisture to it. But the thing that I always found kind of annoying and bothersome about it is it seemed to oxidize heavily throughout the day. So I would put it on and I'd be like, oh, I look nice and glowy and tan. And then by the end of the day, I would be like, why am I an Oompa Loompa? I look insane. So it's not a repurchase for me. I like the brand. I like the other one that's more of a moussey matte feel and finish. But I don't know, I would love to hear if anyone else has tried that and if it oxidized on them. But this one for me is a sad, sad pass. The last sunscreen that I have, I did not use up completely. And I think it expired, that's why I didn't. But I really loved these bronzing drops from TAN-LUXE. This is the Super Gloss. They're not your main sunscreen. So you put on another sunscreen and then if you just want a little bit more of a bronzy look, you just put a very minimal amount. Do not put the whole dropper in your hand. It's very pigmented. And these just give you, I think, one of the best actual color pigments compared to some of the other bronzing drops. Some of the others are too warm, too red. This one just looks the most natural and really you just got a tan at the beach. So very, very nice, very expensive. Probably won't repurchase just because of the price. And I feel like I just couldn't use them fast enough because you really only need a little, but very nice if maybe a good gift if you want to give this to somebody or just treat yourself. Let's move on to skincare. I don't think I need to go into detail about this. This is the INNBEAUTY Bright and Tight. This is my third bottle. I'm on my fourth and I have a fifth. This is my favorite eye cream. I've used it pretty much all year. What it does is it's not gonna necessarily like depuff, and it's not necessarily going to make your wrinkles better, but I have found that if you have minimal darkness, not like very, very dark under eyes, because that's usually genetic, but if you have some darkness, or for me, redness on my eyelids, this with consistent use, and I'm not talking like 2 weeks, I'm talking like 2 to 3 months of consistent use, has made the world of difference. And I feel like I don't worry about not having makeup on my eyes, which is crazy. Like, it's a weird thing, but I always found like my eyelids were so red, but this has made the world of difference. And so I use it just for that. Now for wrinkles and other like depuffing, there are other things that I use, but this one for redness or kind of light dark circles is a really good one for me. I'm not gonna go super deep on this one. This is the CERAVE Skin Renewing Night Cream. Somebody told me that this was a dupe for some other like more expensive, nice night cream. I found it to be more than unremarkable. I found it to be like a very unpleasurable experience. It felt waxy to me. It felt like it never sunk in. CERAVE is kind of a hit or miss thing for me. Like, I know that their products are meant to be non-scented, very good for sensitive skin. They've got peptides, they've got ceramides, all these things, but I just found it to be not enough of an enjoyable and pleasurable experience for me to continue to use it. I mean, I used it all up, but I will not repurchase at all. The next one I have is the NATURIUM Multi-Peptide Advanced Serum. I'm on the fence about this. I know people really like the Multi-Peptide line from NATURIUM, and the only one I like right now, like really like, is their new night cream or thicker moisturizer. It's lovely, like love, love, love it. But this one, I just feel like I put it on, it soaks in, it's nice, but like I've never seen a difference. I don't feel like my skin really like does anything from it, but I also have very thick skin. Not in the sense of the internet, but in the sense of like my skin takes a lot for it to see any changes. So I think if you're looking for a really more affordable but like pretty power-packed serum, this would be a good option. And if you see changes from peptides, I don't see as many changes from peptides as other people do, but a good like hydrating, plumping serum, this would be a good recommendation, because honestly, I love most things from NATURIUM. The other thing I have is the GEEK and Gorgeous Sea Glow Vitamin C Serum. This is 15% vitamin C. I like this brand, but vitamin C serums are so difficult because this one definitely oxidized pretty quickly, and I felt like I had to use it just so quickly. There's nothing left in it, but it's completely oxidized. I think it's a really good option for an affordable vitamin C because their brand in general is so affordable, and you would pay like $100 for this, basically the same formula from somewhere like SkinCeuticals. So you're getting a great formula just for a fraction of the price. So for that purpose, I think it's a really good option. Me personally though, I don't love droppers, like especially when it's just liquid. I find like it just goes everywhere. I just preferred a little bit more viscosity in my vitamin C serum. But if you're looking for a powerful, cheap vitamin C, this would be my recommendation because it is really nice. It's just personal preference of I don't like to apply it this way. Okay, another not empty is this TYPOLOGY, what did they call it? P40 Antioxidant Face Moisturizer. This is supposed to have like beta carotene in it, so it's like a little orange, like carrots. I tried using this for so long. I've had it since the spring, and I mean, the color is not that crazy, but it actually dries my face out when I use it. I even tried to travel with it because it's a good, like this aluminum packaging is good for travel. I swear to God, it dried my face out. It did not moisturize one bit. I got it, I think like because I spent a certain amount on TYPOLOGY, but I would never ever pay for it on its own. I think this is just a terrible moisturizer. And then the last skincare that I have, oh wow, is this Banish Pumpkin Enzyme Mask. Do not look inside, that was not pretty. This is expired, but when it wasn't expired, I loved it. Pumpkin enzymes are a really good kind of, they can be physical or chemical exfoliators. This one I believe has some of the physical like scrubbing in it, but also just if it were without this little like sugar scrubs or whatever, it works as a chemical exfoliator. And this was one of my very favorite masks. I just love anything to do with like fruit enzymes or pumpkin or vegetable enzymes. They work really, really well on my face. I love that this brand is a smaller brand. I have a video on it. I will link it above. So overall, would definitely repurchase it. I think it was my favorite item from the brand that I have. So I just let it sit a little too long and it expired. So my only suggestion is when you have it, just use it. Otherwise, I think it expires a little quicker than some other things. Okay, guys, we're almost done. Not really. We're gonna do some speed reviews because I have the next like bunch of it is all makeup. I'll go through the ones that I have emptied first. The first one is the Vive Lip Dew. This was in the shade Rosa. This is one of the best shades of a lip gloss I've ever had. And I really, really liked the Vive Lip Dew until I tried NATURIUM. NATURIUM is thicker. It really stays on your lips all day. It really nourishes. And these I found to be like a medium level. Like the level of gloss on my lips was higher, but it didn't seem to last as long. So if you're in it for just the color, these shades are spectacular. But if you're in it for really like nourishing, hydrating, I always recommend the NATURIUM Phyto Glow lip balms. But I don't know, I feel like I am very proud of myself for actually finishing a lip balm. It doesn't happen often. This is a sad empty that's not really empty, but it was time. This is the original MAC Studio Face and Body. Pretty sure I got this in 2019, maybe 18. This was at my old house, so 2 houses ago. And I love Face and Body, and they no longer make this actual one. Now they have the Studio Radiance, which it just has more like glow, kind of like glowiness to it. But they took one of the best foundations, and they kind of like made it worse just for a trend. But I sadly have to say goodbye to this. I used half of it up. I used this on my wedding day or my second wedding day. It is a little finicky, so if you've ever like had an issue with that, I have a video. Just search my channel for how to use it, and there's some tips there. But if you want long-lasting, really beautiful coverage, Face and Body is the way to go. Unfortunately, this original one, like I said, they don't sell anymore. But the Studio Radiance, it should work for a lot of people. But I'm very sad because it's expired and I just should not put it on my face anymore. The next one is the Auric, what is this called? Smoke Reflect in Temper. This was from the brand Auric, Sam Ravindal. The second I got it, I just didn't love it. Like, they have a powder on the top, and it was never like, I can't even get my finger in it. Like, nothing comes out. It's very, very dry. And then the actual colored one, like this is the cream shadow, dried up pretty quickly too. I mean, it's kind of old, I guess, but I felt like it dried up quicker than I thought it would. And I just didn't find that the formula was exactly what I wanted, or like the most spectacular, especially this. Like, you can see, like, this is the top. It's got a cool package. Like, this is the cream, this is the powder. But this was like this, like that, like hard pan forever. So not something I would repurchase, especially because it's quite pricey. What I would repurchase is this Haus Labs concealer. This is the whatever Triclone. I think they only have one concealer. This not only is the perfect shade for me, I have 21 light, medium, neutral, but also it's got a lot of coverage and it does not crease and you don't need to set it. Spectacular. The only other one that I have been using lately is the CERAVE. This has even more coverage. You really can use this as like a foundation. But I think when I finish that up, I think I'm going to repurchase the Haus Labs one, because this is just perfect. Like, I don't need that much coverage from the CERAVE. And I think that this one gives me enough coverage, but also sets so perfectly that it's really all I want. My one complaint is that this doe foot, do you see this? Like, doesn't fit in the bottle. I didn't break it off, but I was worried that I would, just from like shoving it back in each time. You guys, we've talked about this many times. This is the Merit, what is it called? The Minimalist Perfecting Complexion Stick. It doesn't work for me. I don't think that that means that it doesn't work for anybody or everybody, because I know plenty of people who love this. It's a complexion stick. It's highlighter, foundation, not highlighter, concealer, foundation, whatever you need it to be. And it is pretty minimal, not super high coverage, but it does not work for me. I don't have big pores, but when I use this, all I see are my pores. It doesn't blend in. It blends to nothing. Like, it just doesn't work. And people always say, like, did you exfoliate? Did you do this, and this? I've tried it every single way I can imagine with every single tool. No skincare, no sunscreen, both of them. It doesn't work. It's okay. I'm not saying that the brand is bad. I'm just saying this does not work for me. And I have tried, I think I've had 4 of them, which is way too many. Another thing that did not work for me is this, where is it? Transparent Lab Hydro Plump Lip Augmentation. It hurt. This hurt so bad. Do I dare try it right now? Are you gonna make me do that? All right, I'll try. Yep, it's hurting. I know it's a lip plumper, but it hurts, like, and it doesn't feel hydrating. It doesn't feel, I don't know, and it feels like it smells too chemically. It's not like pleasurable, like there's no scent to it, like a good, nice vanilla, and it just hurts to apply. Like, I don't need that in my life anymore. Okay, we've got a few more things. This is the Fenty Beauty Fly Liner in Big Truffle. This is a liquid eyeliner, and I think there's still a little bit left in it. It's hard to know when you use up an eyeliner, but I liked this in the beginning. I actually really loved it. And then I found that the shade was just pulling a little too red on me, like a little too warm. I love the fact that it's a brown liquid eyeliner. I don't wear a lot of liquid anymore, but like if I'm gonna wear it at all, it's gotta be brown. But I really just felt like maybe it was like a personal preference that changed, but it felt just a little too warm. So otherwise the formula, the component, everything else about this is spectacular, just not the shade perfect for me. And then the last 2 items, which I'm not going to go into super detail about, are these 2 makeup brushes. The first one is a free one from Naked Sundays, but every time I've had this brush, they send it to you with your sunscreens. It just does this like coning thing in the middle, which I don't know why. But then I had my favorite Real Techniques brush do the same thing, which, you know, this is not a very expensive brush. I think $7 or $8. So like probably made similarly. They kind of look similar. They're a different shape, but they both did that. And I can't really stand using that because then like the makeup goes into the little cone part, the indented part. But if I were to get one of these again, I've never paid for this. You just get it for free. But I do love this one. This is the 405. And I'll link it below. But this is one of my favorites. You can use it for foundation. You can use it for cream, blush, bronzer. Pretty much anything, concealer, literally anything. And I love the fact that it usually is like an angled brush. And it's not too big, not too small. It's a perfect brush. I love it. Okay guys, that is it. We got through another Empties. I hope you enjoyed it. Some sad ones, some ones that I did not use, but all of them loved somewhat, maybe. Anyway, if you did like this video, give it a big ol' like, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.